You need to stop the engines to request.
I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high. Climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello everyone and welcome to another of the glide slope flight. Today we're taking this little turboprop, the ATR 72600. This is an aircraft I've flown only once, I believe, maybe less than that. Yeah, once. Yeah, it's about time we get back to it. Now we are picking up where we left last time, so we landed yesterday here at Corsica, not Corfu, Corsica. I'm sorry for the mistake yesterday anyway. And we're taking it back to mainland France, to Toulouse. Now this is a regular flight during the summertime, and Air Corsica operates either the ATR or any other available aircraft to the mainland France. And so we are flying it today on the passenger version, taking it back to France. Now, this is a very short flight, but of course, this plane isn't fast, so it's going to take a while. But yeah, weather is not going to be a factor, hopefully, and we're expecting a smooth ride today. So here we are at Corsica. So even though we don't have to make the walk around in the sim, we still have to do a couple of things.
Runway awareness. Okay.
Meters.
All right, that's vRAAS starting up. So we took off the engine protections. Hello, Drexy. Yeah, it is a lovely plane. So we're removing the static port protections as well as the pitot. Checking the other side as well, and it looks good. There's no protections here. Of course, we need to kick the tires, see if they are in shape. Then they are, but let's not do that today. So, oh, that's nice. We can see the wing lights here, but there's no interaction. It's just to check it out. All right, let's go inside. Now this plane is boarded by on the back, not the front. So we're just going to open the door here. I mean, you can go in through the main cargo door, but Wow, that's funky. So the sun is setting behind that hill over there, but it's going a little fast. All right, let's open it. And as we open, we're going to be transported, teleported to the cockpit. And here we are. Here's Betsy. Say hi to the gentleman, Betsy. So first things first, let's turn on the battery. Plane comes to life. I'm hearing an engine shut down. Alright, it's gone. That's odd. Let's import our Simbrief flight. Here we go. We got from Ajaccio to Toulouse, Blagnac. Yeah, Betsy's here. Drexy says hi, Betsy. Oh, you got white hair there. You're getting older, baby. Alright, so let's set the flight plan, set the fuel, set the payload. We're all good to go. We'll go back to the... So the weight, the payload is a little over maximum. Well, it is on the maximum landing weight, but we are going to take off. We're going to spend fuel, and so if we were to return back for some reason, and we would be overweight for maximum landing, so we need to burn some fuel, but that's not going to be the case, hopefully. So we'll come back here to performance. Let's load the flight plan. It's already loaded, so we got some master cautions going on here. So let's connect the ground power. This needs to be put back on startup. Don't know why it doesn't. All right, let's call GSX, tell them to load the plane, although
Boarding requested.
use airplane's own stairs. We're going to set it by Avia partner. Like I was saying, this lever here, this is the gust lock, so this needs to be pulled in whenever the plane is cold and dark. This limits the throttle input to about 45% or 40 something percent. And so this needs to be, as you see, if I move it forward, it will be stuck there. And so don't know why, but this plane always starts with the gust lock off, which shouldn't. All right, let's take a look at our flight plan here. So everything looks fine and peachy. So let's take this guy out of here. Just confirming the nav data is up to date. So 20 to very well. It's this is what is this? 2014. This is not the nav data. Well, it is updated. I was just trying to check it out. Oh, there it is. So now this is today's date.
Passengers boarding
That's
started.
odd. Well, it is updated. Otherwise, the flight plan won't load correctly. Yeah, let's look outside. Let's take a look at Corsica Airport. It is really special. No jetways, but you see the passengers are coming through there. I can show you with using the drone camera, or at least I wanted to. Come on, let me use the drone camera. It doesn't allow me to use the drone camera. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, it is beautiful. Look at that. The passengers are moving around. Here comes the gate agent. The passenger will be following him all the way to this beautiful terminal, as well as the cargo stuff. It's curious that this is named after Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know my history, but I think he was exiled to an island, and I think it was Corsica. Of course, I could be wrong, but I do know he was exiled. They wanted to execute him after he was basically Emperor of France, but they decided to do something else with him, and they just exiled him. He died in that island. I believe it was here. Alright, so position initiation. Let's initialize with last or the GPS position is more accurate. Initializing. So back to flight plan, let's call ground. Let's ask him to give us clearance to Toulouse.
Ajaccion ground, Corsica 726 at 70 to 600, gate 3 request IF for clearance to Blagnac, information November.
Corsica 726, Ajaccio ground, cleared to Blagnac via T-01 Romeo departure, runway 20, climb to flight level 060 squawk 1000.
Cleared to Blagnac via T-01 Romeo departure, runway 20, climb to flight level 060 squawk 1000, Corsica 726.
Corsica 726, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco Corsica 726.
Alright, we got our clearance to Blagnac, that's Toulouse. And again, our squawk is 1000, so this is happening quite a lot recently with Beyond ATC. Don't know what to make of it. Let's go here to our co-pilots. So we got our external power, we can make it available. We can also start clearing some stuff here. Alright. Arm our emergency lights, set everything ready. Looks cool. We can also test the CVR. Plane starting up the rest of the systems. It's also lining up INS. Alright, now we got it. So let's go here to our surveillance map mode. Set our squawk 1000. Really weird squawk, to be honest. Alright. And that's it. So it's now on standby. We'll set to on. Our TCAS is also set to auto. It doesn't work that well. It always stays standby, so we need to manually come here and set it to TA only and back to auto for it to start working correctly for some reason. Alright, looks like we're fine. We're just waiting for the passengers. And there they are, they're coming in. You'll notice that the cargo hasn't been loaded yet. That's because whenever there's passengers loading, because of the danger of carts passing around, they will hold. That's why I wanted to start loading passengers as fast as I could. Alright, looks good. Now we can start energizing the plane. And we should, but because GSX doesn't like us to turn on engines while they're still loading stuff, I'm not going to be able to do that just yet. So for now, we just need to wait. Let's set our altimeter for local. QNH is 1011. Set and cross-checked. Also on standby here. Done. So this is our takeoff setting to take off to thrust or maximum continuous thrust by calculation of the FMS. We are cleared for the initial altitude of 060, so let's set that up. You need to look here. It's very small, but I'm going to rotate the altitude selector to 6,000 feet. So these planes, they're in this realm between modern and old school, so a lot of stuff needs to be done manually while you still have a glass cockpit. I mean, you have electronic checklists, although I have paper checklists in front of me. I'm not going to use those. Cockpit preparation, parking brake is set a mondo. Power levers 1 and 2 are set to idle, or ground idle as they call it, which is not there. Oh, we don't get to there, so it's flight idle. It's the same thing, no matter. Landing gear lever is down, right there. Windscreen wipers are off. Battery master is on. We got external power on. Cockpit panel lights as required. Fuel pump and fuel pumps are off, both off. Engine fire test, let's not do that. Nav lights are on. All right, 66 passenger boarded. Hydraulic pumps are on. Right here, all these 4 buttons here. DC gen is on. Seatbelt signs are on. No devices on. Emergency exit lights are armed. Windshield heating is left and right and should be on. AC while gen 1 and 2.
Information of canal current QNH 1011.
QNH 011 set and cross check. Continuing. Oxygen main supplies is on. Compartment smoke test. Let's not do that. It actually gives us a little error here, so let's not do that. Alright. Trims are centered as they should. Idle gate is pulled in. Weather radar is on standby. Power management is set for takeoff. Cockpit preparation complete. It is set for takeoff. Alright, so we are going to start the engines now. We're going to go through what's called the hotel mode. So this plane doesn't have a GPU. Well, it does have a GPU. It doesn't have an APU. So the only way it can work on the ground is with the engine running, but the propellers stopped. This is called the hotel mode. You set it by turning this little switch here. I'm just gonna wait for this guy to load bags. It's gonna take a moment. I can close the main door already. Usually on these planes, you don't get like the conveyor belt in there. At least I've not seen it. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I've just never seen it. There could be some airports where they do this, but this is just GSX doing its best to use their models to operate with these airplanes, I suppose. I mean, it's no problem. It just takes a little longer. All right. So let's just bearing 1, bearing 2. Just wait a little bit for turn on flight directors. It is there, it's just not sending out any signal. Let's go to map mode for now. I really wish this little knob could be much better. Over here we can press on the PFD and it will change the mode and the range. So I just wanted to see the flight plan. Alright, there's a flight plan. This is the one I want. And this one doesn't change. Alright, we'll leave it be. So we're probably going to take off from that side over there. So we're gonna. There's no pushback on these aprons, by the way. So this guy's on the second trolley. Out of 3. Let's take a look at the charts, by the way, while we're at it. So this is still the Lido charts. There's still no possibility to load the Navigraph charts, which is a shame because I don't really enjoy these charts, but anyway. So let's go for the SIDS, RNAV SIDS. Today we are taking Tino 1 Romeo, I think, or no. Tino 1 Romeo, yeah. This is the one. Alright, so let's pin that. Let's get the airport chart. This is not it. There it is. So we're parked here in the civilian apron. So we're probably going to take Tango and Alpha if we're going to take off from runway 02. There aren't many options. Either take Tango or Delta, Tango and Delta to 0, or Tango and Alpha to 02. Not many options there. We can, however, go into map mode, and I hope, nope, map mode. How do I zoom in here? There are click spots, but they're not very intuitive most of the times. Ah, here we are. Oh, come on. I was right there. Alright, much better. So we either will be pulling right into the taxiway, either left or right. Pretty straightforward. So this guy's on the final trolley. No pressure, buddy. It's like we got all the time in the world, right? Right? So, you know this plane is from a different era when a lot of stuff isn't working still. I mean, S&H will probably continue to update this plane into FS24 standards, but this is an FS20 aircraft. So stuff like the blinds here or cabin interaction and all that, I'll show you the cabin mid-flight. It's not going to happen. And you know it's not going to happen because this plane was 100% developed in FS 2020, and it was recently updated to be compatible with 2024, and even more recently native to FS 2024. So a lot of minor stuff is still to be performed on this aircraft. I don't know if they ever make the blinds work. I'm just saying that the standards are a little low on this plane. You're not actually purchasing this plane for 70 euros, right? It's just about 20 or 30 euros or so. Alright, looks like cargo is done. Oh, that's a funky turn right there. Mr. Cargo Man. Let's tell GSX we want to get out of Dodge. Don't mess the plane, buddy. And with that, we can start our plane into hotel mode. We could have done that already, but like I explained earlier, GSX doesn't enjoy that at all. So let's start our engine number 2. It's always number 2, the one that goes into turboprop brake. Let's go to feather mode. So start. Here we are. Engine starting up. It's gonna level right there. It's gonna overheat slightly. It's gonna go into high. That's normal because it needs the blades to cool down. And as you can see, the engine started. We have hot air coming out, but the blades are stopped. So it's like a safe mode for operating the plane. You see now it's overheating. It's completely normal. Parking brakes on. Everything looks peachy. So let's request startup.
Corsica
We should have requested startup already. My bad.
Corsica 726, engine start approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Wilco engine start approved. Corsica 726.
Alright, let's close the door. Let's also release ground power. Let's leave the wheel shocks for now. Looks fine and peachy. We can also turn on the pitot heat for now. Let's set the plane into auto mode so it can start to generate so just checking here. Let's not turn that on. SVS. Traffic set for above, correct. The weather radar set. Alright, looks good. No ILS for now. Come back to comms. Start engine number 2. So what we do is we press the hydraulic auxiliary pump. Wait for the ready button, there it is, and now we remove the prop brake. And now the blades will start spinning. There they go. Alright, we got the prop spinning. We can also remove the chocks now, as long as the parking brakes are set, and they are. Looks good. Let's start number 1 now. So same drill, start AB, turn on the fuel pumps, start button, wait for the engine to spool up. At about 15%, we set idle mode. And engine number 1 is running in peachy. Alright, so now we set it to auto. Coming back here, we're going for our performance. So we are going to take off with a dry runway with reverse thrust available and, well, arrival runway length and the required runway length. This is for the takeoff, so no, this is only for the takeoff. So 113 is the V1, VR is 113 again, and V2 is 117. Those V speeds should be there, but they're not. Alright, we got takeoff on the power management. Let's go back to surveillance, turn on the transponder. Transponder is on, and let's request taxi.
Corsica 726 ready to taxi to the active.
Corsica 726, taxi to holding point Delta, runway 20 via Tango Delta Delta.
Taxi to holding point Delta, runway 20 via Tango Delta Delta, Corsica 726.
Alright, everything looks cool. Let's just get some lights up here. I already set this to bright, but it doesn't look like it's doing much. During the daytime, a lot of planes are bugged. It's like they don't have any lights in the cockpit. Right, manual for auto, manual thrust. So we are still with the gust brake in. Did I remove the chocks? I did. Plane doesn't want to move. moving. Brake check, it's working. So we are to park to Delta, runway 20, so it's the other way around. We need to go all the way up. Got track IR on. There we go. Say goodbye to Ajaccion. Make our reverse test here. Reverse tested. Set. Flaps for takeoff. Arm yaw damper. Oh, it doesn't allow it. Your arm yaw damper. Alright, let's arm VNAV. Oh, first nav, then VNAV. LNAV. There we go. It was being tough. So let's go back here to map. There's a very cool cargo terminal on that side over there. It's a very small cargo terminal. So it looks so rustic. It's really fun. It looks fun to operate cargo into this airport. In fact, I was planning to make this a cargo flight, but since last time I flew the ATR, I flew cargo, I decided to go with passenger. So I forgot to set the elapsed time. Not the chronometer. How do you set the elapsed time here? Hello. There we go. Alright. Good enough. Woo! Almost ran out of the runway there. Or taxiway. Very cool looking airport this is. So we are supposed to go to holding point Delta, which is this one right here. I mean, we can go up there to the end. Funny thing here is this looks like a boat factory. It's right here next to the airport. Which one is that? That's Charlie. That's actually Charlie.
118.075 Corsica 726, bye-bye.
Well, we can call it in.
Corsica 726 holding short, runway 20.
Corsica 726, runway 20, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 20, Corsica 726.
Is there another plane landing? I see another plane landing. Okay. It doesn't give me clearance on the holding point. Some airports are a little picky on that. because sometimes they can't see the aircraft, so they'll only tell them the clearance for takeoff once the
Approaching
flight is
20.
visible. Right, landing lights on. Strobe lights on. On runway 20.
On runway 20.
Alright. Waiting on you, tower, whenever you feel like it. Parking brake off. On, sorry. Gust lock. Forward. Oh! What? You saw it. It said line up and wait. You saw it. I didn't make this up. Is that plane taking off or landing? There's another Air Corsica ATR.
Corsica 726, Ajaccion Tower, wind 260 degrees 6 knots, runway 20, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 20 cleared for takeoff, Corsica 726.
Forgot the V speeds, my bad. Three, rotate. Positive right, gear up. Start on right hand turn.
Corsica 726, contact Ajaccion, departure 127.78.
This sound is the
127.78, Corsica 726.
the flight director isn't here. This sound is the trim.
Corsica 726 passing 600 feet, climbing to flight level 060. Corsica 726, Ajaccion departure identified. Climb flight level 100. Climb flight level 100, Corsica 726.
Alright, let's go to MCT. So we were cleared for 100. There it is. It's very hard to see, it's right there. Let's increase brightness here. Right. Much better. Alright. Let's get our surveillance decas. See, it's still on. It was still on auto, but it's just not working. It's you need to come here manually, turn it on. It should detect weight off wheels and just set to auto, but it doesn't. All right, let's clear the flaps. Let's also turn on taxi, take off. Let's leave the wing lights. Now everything else stays until 10,000 feet. We also need the radar. It's on. That's it. Nothing to touch there. Just turn it on. So what I forgot was this, the V speeds. I knew what the speeds were because we just looked at the just had looked at the so we're following this departure here. We were just looking at the performance, but I just forgot to put them there. It's just one of those things. If you have Copilot, things are a little easier. I don't know what happened there with traffic landing. Just they told me to line up. It's really weird, Trixie. Never seen that happening. Let's now go to climb mode. Let's go to 80%. We're above the optimal climb, so we're good. So we got LNAV, VNAV. VNAV is not being respected at all. Like ladder nav is working. It's just VNAV that's acting up. As soon as we get that square where it should be, I'm gonna let's try again. VNAV capture. There we go. VNAV path.
And 302, passing 1,400 feet, climbing to flight level 080.
302, Ajaccion departure identified, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, pan 302.
Let's increase range here. Alright. Let's get on with our checklists here. So after takeoff checklist, gear is up, autopilot is on, yaw damper is on, taxi lights are off, takeoff lights are, we're passing 10,000, not yet, after 10,000 feet. Power management is set to climb, flaps are up, altimeter, what's the transition here? Flight level 050, we're just crossing 050. Climbing. We're probably waiting to intercept, but let's set our altimeters back to standard. Altimeter set standard and cross-checked. We'll just set this to 1013. It is set to standard. We just can't turn off the landing lights. Seatbelt signs will stay on. Altimeter set standard, done. Let's set our speed target to 250 knots. It's not climbing, but it is on the VNAV path, so this tells me that we've been climbing a little faster than optimal climb. I don't see any other possibility. So let's set our heading to our course here. Yeah, when you push, you sink it. Alright, looks good. Just waiting for the plane to decide to climb. It is on the VNAV path, you can see here on the magenta square. Oops. Set climb. Beautiful sunset. Beautiful plane, beautiful sunset. What else would you want? We'll cruise around the cabin in a moment. Just want to get the climb speed back and into cruise. How you doing, Betsy? Still not talking to me? Here, let me cover your pretty eyes from the sun here. So it appears we got backlight on.
All aircraft be advised, information Papa now current QNH1011.
We're taking an awful lot of time. Let's go to vertical speed. Just make the plane climb here. I'm really tired of waiting. Much better. Just be careful with your speed when you do this. If there's a restriction here. No indication of restriction, although these charts from Lido are very bad when it comes to understanding restrictions. What we call constraints on the Airbus. Levers back to 80. Let's decrease vertical speed. Something the plane can manage.
Corsica 726, contact Marseille Control 133.76. Contact Marseille Control 133.76, Corsica 726. Marseille Control, Corsica 726, passing flight level 071, climbing to flight level 100.
Nivelle 594, descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1011. Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1011, Nivelle 594. Corsica 726, Marseille Control, identified, climb flight level 180.
Climb flight level 180,
It's going to be painful to climb to that.
Marseille Control, PAN 302, passing flight level 160, climbing to flight level 190.
What's that call sign? PAN?
PAN 302, Marseille
PAN
Control.
302.
Good evening. Identified, climb flight
What's
level
PAN?
410.
It's like Peter Pan
Climb
or something.
flight level 410, PAN 302.
Need to check that one. Pan in French is bread, but it's P-A-I-N, not P-A-N. But for a moment there, I thought the call sign was pain, like bread. But it is pan, so it's like pan, like food pan. Or Peter Pan, whatever you want. So these MFDs have like hidden touchscreens.
Ryanair 49 Charlie
And
Foxtrot,
apparently
descend
you can
airscroft
follow
6,000
this
feet,
checklist
QNH1011,
by pressing
descend
somewhere.
6,000 feet, QNH1011, Ryanair 49 Charlie Foxtrot.
Alright, procedure completed. Alright, so this is cockpit preparation 2 of 2. And you can fill it in. Now there's before propeller rotation. You see, you can perform these and it will open the synoptics according to what you need. So as you go through the systems, it's going to pop up the synoptics that you require. This is very handy, but like I said, I had paper checklists, so I rarely use these. But let's just fill it in. After takeoff, flap 0, power management, climb. It is still on climb. Engine bleed is on. Taxi and takeoff lights off, and altimeter set. So now we're just waiting for the descent checklist. There's traffic up ahead, apparently beneath us. Although we are setting our TCAS for above, it's telling me there's a plane beneath me, so that means that this filter doesn't do much. There's no weather today, so oh, I didn't see your message there, Drex. You say you're not feeling well? I'm sorry, buddy. I hope it's nothing serious. Switch between MFD types.
Contact Marseille Control 134.26. Have a good evening. Center on 134.26. Airwest 32 Papa.
Let's see if we can see the surroundings. I mean, there's one, but it's way up there. TCAS may be giving us a little spurious contact, but it did mention that it was there. Now it's behind us. All right, let's see. Let's see it. There's Corsica. Plane. It's better that way. I don't want any planes on our path.
Apologia to Delta Quebec. Contact Ajaccion approach 121.05. Contact Ajaccion approach 121.05.
Passing 10,000 feet, landing lights off. Finally. So we can now complete the after takeoff checklist. Actually, the takeoff and climb checklist.
Country 02, contact Marseille Control.
And now as we are climbing so steadily,
Center on 125
can turn off the passenger signs and the no device signs. Alright, let's visit the cabin now. We were talking about. So this is
Ryanair 46 Delta Whiskey.
yeah, this is the jump seat, and it's a huge thing. Look at this.
Radar 135.455, Ryanair 46 Delta Whiskey.
So, lock the control, extract the red pins, rotate to rearward the seat, and extract the occupant. So this could, like, I don't know, become a stretcher or something. If anybody knows what this is, let me know. Alright, let's open the doors. So there are two doors. It's really like a closet, really. I know a pilot that references as the closet, so it's nothing far-fetched. This is the cargo compartment. Usually the cargo is piled on either side, either that little corner there or this entire section here, and there usually is a curtain. There it is. It's hidden here. There's a curtain here for this side, and usually there's another curtain on this side, but I don't see it. Yeah, well, there it is. There's a curtain here. This curtain hides not only any cargo that could still be here. I mean, it's not a good place to place cargo, because once you open this door, the cargo can fall off the side of the plane. But there are these rails here to attach cargo on the ground, so I suppose it is possible to carry on this side. They usually carry on both sides because of weight imbalance, so that it doesn't get too overweight on one side only. And this is the door to the cabin, a little door here where the crew also sits. So whenever the flight, we're on takeoff, and this door must be closed, the crew member will sit here on this little chair here. Of course, nothing in here is interactive. We also don't have seated passengers. That's something that we have not seen GSX work on very well with any marketplace aircraft. So whenever you buy an aircraft from Microsoft Marketplace like this one, most likely you will not have seated passengers. So this is a very cool single aisle cabin, to be honest. ATR has this executive only type of cabin now. They're selling that product, but most likely any ATR you will fly around the world will be something like this: single aisle, 2x2, and there's only going to be usually one flight attendant to the back and one other flight attendant to the front. This is where you come in from to the aircraft. There's something really weird in here. I think that's a light, but it doesn't look that good. Looks like a missing texture there. This is the loo. No! Oh my god. Good thing pressurization isn't modeled. I don't know why this. Look at the click spot. You can move all the way. This is where it ends. You can see the loo is vacant, by the way. There's only one loo. I believe there's only one loo in the entire aircraft. I think. Oh, look at that. There's a reflection of the cockpit here. And there's the emergency door. Basically, this door is most likely only used by the catering crews and rarely used by anybody else. And here is the most important section of the plane. You know what it is, where the coffee is made. Right here. Nothing is interactive again. So let's go back up front. Oh, I need to close the doors first. So let's close this door. And now this door. I sincerely hope there was no cabin depressurization warning. None of this actually works, so I think we're good. Yeah. I believe you can't even set the FMS. It should be set for by the FMS, but still you can't even set up the altitude for the destination. What's going on here? Our speed's going down, so let's get this back to maximum continuous thrust. He was entering the buffet here. So VNAV isn't working that well on this plane. So that's why I'm picking vertical speed, because it's just trying to follow this optimal flight plan is being very adamant. It wants to either go down or fly steady. We were very close to a stall there. Good thing I was paying attention, right? Giggity. Less power here on the condition levers. I'm just looking there at the let's get it to 80%. That's usually a fail place. It looks like the plane is too slow, but there's actually no waypoint between Ajaccio and the mainland in France. So yeah, we're flying over the ocean right now. I can show you where we are. So we just took off from here. We're flying over the ocean and we're taking the long path because we're flying straight. And then we are forced to fly northbound before we can reach our destination here. By the way, we now have this called... What's going on? Oh, it's still going down. Alright, let's get a little more thrust. I thought the plane was handling it. Let's get out of the stall buffet. We are exceeding our thrust for MCT, but still. If I go to climb mode, it will be even worse. Just looking here at some trigger.
Corsica 30 Victor November. Contact Ajaccio approach 121.05. Contact Ajaccio approach 121.05 Corsica 30 Victor November.
"30 minutes into the flight, we're still pretty much next to Ajaccio. The plane is not that fast. 70 miles to Tino. This is when we're going to make a right-hand turn towards north, heading to Marseille area, so that we can carry on to Toulouse. We cannot make a direct approach to Toulouse, unfortunately.
Top Swiss 53 Victor November. Descend via start to 4,000 feet.
Instead of Toulouse, I was trying to go to Austria, but it was way farther, about twice the distance. And I thought, nah, not with the ATR. It will be too long of a flight. Right, we're getting there. At least we're gonna get to our cruise level. And then I can put it into cruise mode.
Corsica 36 Charlie Romeo. Contact Marseille Control 125.465.
Lots of Corsica planes.
Control 125.465, Corsica 36 Charlie Romeo. Marseille Control, follow DN9 Victor Quebec, passing flight level 160, climbing to flight level 1900, direct launch soon.
Alright, now that we regain our
DN9 Victor Quebec, Marseille Control identified. Climb flight level 390.
speed,
Climb flight level 390, below
let's
DN9
try to
Victor
climb a
Quebec.
little faster now. Let's not push it too much, let's just do 1,000 feet per minute. 1,000 to go. Flight level 180. At this point, let's reduce to climb mode. So we know the plane's heavy because we were exceeding maximum landing weight, but still, I think this flight model isn't the best. Somewhere out there, someone saying, "You think?" Yeah, I know this is a cheap plane, but I like it. I want to make it work because I really like the plane. I like the real plane, and I think I like this plane as well because it forces me to be on my tiptoes, and I like that while flying. Right, looks like we can set to cruise and bring it back to 80%. So no auto throttle, you're just doing that by hand. There you go. We're now cruising, and if I set my thrust to the green zone, the plane will decelerate like crazy. It was supposed to be at 230 knots, but it can't even keep 180 knots. And look at VNav, it's still telling me to go down. Not good. So in manual mode, in auto mode I mean, it's going to maintain 186, alright.
Marseille control, easy 24 Mike Echo, flight level 192. Easy 24 Mike Echo, Marseille control,
Speaking of easy, now one of the options was also to fly EasyJet today. Probably to Innsbruck, somewhere in Austria. But I really wanted to go back to the ATR. I wish we had more turboprops, airliner turboprops. I really wish Majestic would come up with their Dash 8 Q6. What's the Q600? Dash 8. They're Majestic Dash 8. And I believe there's another company producing a Majestic, Dash 8 300. So, no, Majestic is a Dash Q400. That's it. And someone is making the Dash 8 300, not the Q. So, the older version. I'm not going to get the older version, because I don't want to fly steam. I already have a few planes with steam gauges. But if the Majestic Dash Q 400 shows up, I might think about it.
Marseille control, Swiss 7 Lima Whiskey, flight level 239. Swiss 7 Lima Whiskey, Marseille control, identified.
Alright, let's see.
Philadelphia 9 Victor Quebec, contact Marseille Control 125.465.
Can you keep
Control 125.465,
airspeed in cruise mode at 61.6? Can we maintain that airspeed? Nope, doesn't look like it can. Either it's too weighty, too overweight, or the engines are underpowering. There's no ice forming, so I don't know what it is. So I'll just push the levers forth and hope this doesn't over torque the engine. Well, it's not over torquing, it's just beyond optimal.
Good evening, Marseille Control, Ryanair 51 Golf Kilo, passing flight level 231, descending to flight level 190.
We can already see mainland France in the horizon.
Kilo, Marseille Control,
See where we are.
Ryanair 51 Golf Kilo, descend to flight level 090.
Here we go.
Descend to flight level 090, Ryanair 51 Golf Kilo.
Hello Mirsha, welcome back. How are you, my friend? If you guys want to see the flight plan, I can load it here. Alright. Now we should be able to see that. There it is. This is my flight plan. How's the weather where you live, Mirsha? You live in Poland, or is it Poland? Poland or Czechia? I'm sorry if it's neither of those. I'm pretty sure you're from Poland, right, Mirsha? So we are at 15 nautical miles from our next waypoint.
Center on 132.365 Corsica 726. Marseille Control Corsica 726, flight level 180.
There's a plane flying with us somewhere. Probably following the same flight plan, by the way, because I am following a real life flight. There it is. What is that? That's a Volotea A320. Probably doing my flight. Probably. And it's above us now. That's probably the one that was beneath us in the moment. So now we can set our TCAS to normal. Or auto. Oh well. So let's set it to
Viewing 833 Romeo, contact Marseille Control 133.76. Contact Marseille Control 133.76, fueling 833 Romeo.
So you see, it's not even able to keep the airspeed. Even with the VNAV selected, it's still above path and unable to keep the speed. It automatically set at 187. Hey, the more speed the better, I guess. What is this video? Oh, it's nice. Why it likes to miscellaneous, not available. Map. We are airborne, so no map available. So, where is that? Oh, man. Traffic normal. Weather is set. Let's set the terrain here for our co-pilots when we can. So right now we're going to nav system. We're gonna set up our ILS on standby freak. So what are we expecting here? We are expecting runway 32 Lima via AFRI 8 November. So where's AFRI 3 November? Right here. This is 8 November. No. There's no other AFRI. See, I really hate these charts. Alright, so probably this one. And we're going direct to a demo, and then we will get an approach. Probably, definitely not these approaches. So this so hard to read. So used to Jepson. Anyway, approach for runway 32 Lima. Let's search here for the ILS. ILS Zulu, here it is, 32
Marseille
Lima.
Control, Red Nose 1 Yankee Papa, flight level 389 up.
Pretty linear approach.
Red Nose 1 Yankee Papa, Marseille Control identified.
Alright, we'll pin this one, but I think that we need to wait for the... Oh, this is the departure. We need the arrival. Pin it. Alright. So, how do we unpin this one? Can we unpin this? Done. No. How do we unpin this? Doesn't matter. We don't need it anymore. We just need this one. Alright. Let's just hope. I'm going to program the FMC, but let's just hope that this is the one we actually get. So we are setting a freak ILS 32 Lima Zulu. Yeah. Oh, there's actually no 3 November. Let me confirm that on the flight plan here. 8 November, what am I thinking? 8 November. Alright. And the last waypoint is a demo, if I'm not mistaken. Let's confirm that. Yep, there's a demo. Done. No transition. Execute. So, if we change, we change. We need to clear this discontinuity here. Ah, come on. It's even worse. Get this lever out of the way. Execute. Alright. Now that we clear the discontinuity there to Afric. So Mershid still didn't answer me. Are you from Poland? And if so, how's the weather? I think you're from Poland. I'm sorry if you're not. So there has to be a speed hold mode here. I don't want to touch that because this will mess with my altitude. Oh, we need to set up the ILS. Almost forgot. So let's go to the pins. ILS Zulu. Hopefully it's this one. We got 109.3. 0.9.3. This lever. 109.3. Done. Enter. And for the ILS2, it's the same. So set it cross-check. Yeah, see, the VNav is not happy because we just went beyond its optimal climb. If it went that way, if we allowed it VNav to do its own thing, we would still be climbing. LNav is also not doing a great job. Look at that. We're offset. So yeah, this plane isn't the best. That's an understatement, I suppose. So Drexy, I gather you're from Manchester, right? How's the weather? I heard today was very hot in the UK overall. I think you told me you were from Manchester. I'm sorry for not. Guys, if you are enjoying the transmission, if this is something you like, remember to leave a like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. Also share with your friends. So how's the weather up there, Tracy? I heard the heat wave is now hitting you guys. I hope it's not too unbearable. So I'm getting a lot of Corsica company traffic here. Yeah, well, sorry buddy, but VNav is just not following what it should. So this plane not having auto throttle, you kind of need to manage airspeed. By moving the levers in such a way that you can see the plane's holding its airspeed. But I'm almost at max. I'm also almost hitting the max here in order to make it keep up. So our landing course will be 321. That's easy enough to memorize. So you see here, we could go all the way forward, direct to any steer point. And if I zoom out, you can see that the runway is over there. So it would be preferable if we could fly straight in all the way to the interception point for the runway, but no, this is a corridor and we have to follow this corridor apparently, entering this sector. So there's no direct flights from the south to Toulouse.
Air Nostrum 88 Sierra Charlie Marseille control identified.
Day heat wave. Whoa, we had a 5-day heat wave or something like that here, and it burned a lot of forest fire. We always have forest fires, but there was a huge fire south of where I live, and it was absolutely infernal. I cannot live with 40 degrees outside. It's just unbearable. I don't have air conditioning. I mean, I do have a small air conditioner. It's not enough. And I read the other day that a lot of people died. So I wouldn't say it was hundreds of people died in Europe because of the heat And there was a study that claimed, I mean, I don't know how credible this study is, but it claimed that most of these people died, mostly old people. They died because they didn't have an air conditioning, so there was no fan in the world that could stop 40 degrees Celsius. And a lot of people have heart conditions and all that, and so that much heat is never good for you. So like I predicted, we were returning northbound. I'll show you. North, well, not exactly north, northwest, but still turning slightly more north because we need to go through this VOR. I mean, it looks like other traffic is following, and it looks like there's no one flying direct to Toulouse. I tried to set up a lot of different routes based on true. I only try to do real life routes. I don't like go into fantasy world like, oh, I want to do this stuff on my own. I try to follow real life flights as much as I can. There are only 3 flights available from real life operations. This was one of them. The other flight that was pre-selected was even worse because we would turn even more north and we would go through the Nice area. Where, there it is. We would go through the Nice area and then turn left. So even worse. I would spend a lot more fuel.
Air Portugal 934, Marseille control identified.
Well, bricks isn't bad, Drexy. There are houses made of not in where I live here in Portugal, but there are people that live in houses made of wood. That's even worse. It's great for the winter, I suppose, because it can be easily insulated. But wood is not wood is a great conductive of heat, and so it heats up. And if you have an insulated house against the cold, it's even worse. So that's why in the northern areas of Europe, the heat is much less tolerable for older people because the houses, they just warm up too much. But I guess it is what it is. People die of heat stroke all the time because, you know, they don't care to hydrate and all that. It's not just a matter of not having air conditioning or not. It's also a matter of attitude towards the heat. I know a lot of people go to the beach and they get sunstroke and all that because they don't pay attention to what the body is telling them. Especially dehydration is very, very rough on the body. Alright, I'm going to time accelerate a little bit here. Stand by. I'm using an external program, I already mentioned. And I really advise you guys to get one of these because not all airplanes have time compression. Of course, you have to be careful when you use this because sometimes you accelerate the plane, it's not ready for it, and it will cause trouble. But this one is pretty good, and I'm using it quite a lot. So here it is. This is called Simbrief Controller.
Simbrief Controller is ready.
And so it has this fancy voice, and it will just tell you at what speed you're currently on. So I'm going to accelerate to 2 times speed.
2 times speed.
This will create some funky effects when I accelerate, especially when switching cameras. I've been in the UK and I thought you guys had pretty good architecture, but since it's a cold country, whenever there's a heat wave, you guys will suffer because your houses are built for cold. To be cold, they're built to be cozy and hot in the winter, in harsh winter. There was a friend of mine saying, he was joking, but he's got a point, that the ones that profit the most from this are the hospitals and the air conditioning sellers. So They want to promote the idea that air conditioning is the key. So I keep saying, hey, you guys need to buy an air conditioning if you're too hot, but at the end of the day, it's not about the air conditioning. It's about the discipline, hydration and discipline whenever the weather is too hot. Same thing with aircraft. We learn a lot with aircraft management. So whenever there's you want to derate the plane, just set it to a possible temperature, outside temperature, like 50 or 60 degrees Celsius. So the plane understands that it's too hot, so we will never go full throttle. It will never go 100% thrust. So that's the other thing you need to do is when it's hot outside, throttle down. Don't push it. Don't go on that regular exercise. Don't carry weights. Don't run. Because just like an aircraft engine, you might not take it. Your greater engine, which is your heart, will not tolerate that. You can only do so much. Heat does mess things up. Heat is not natural. People in Africa, they don't work in peak heat time. Like they don't work at midday. You need to go to like the Sahara and see how people actually work. They work during the cool breezes, like very early in the morning or very late in the afternoon, or maybe even at night. They're not working midday. What we do in the Western civilization, we're always working regardless of weather, and we'll sometimes be working very hard. Or even if we're not working, our chores, our daily chores are pushing us forward. And we think, well, it's too hot, but I still need to, I don't know, wash my car. It's too hot, but I still need to go to the shopping center or something like that. Oh yeah, I bet that's the case, Brexit. Especially fans. People fill their houses with fans and they don't know the first thing about thermodynamics. And so you need to put your fans, I mean, this is not science, not rocket science, you probably know all this already. You need to place your fans in such a way that you make your air circulate. Most people will just point the fans towards them, period. That's not going to do much. It's going to cool you down for a few minutes, but once you turn off that fan, you'll notice that your room is still hot. So open the window, put a fan towards that window to expel the hot air. Add another fan on the other side of the room so it can like create a circle, not a circle, but a ventilation out of another section of your house, preferably a colder section. So put a fan there, pushing the air into where your room, where you're at, and that room that you're at, and the other fan pushing the air out. That's one of the many ways you can cool your house. It's not quick, it's not the best way to do it, but it is one way to do it. I remember one guy, you probably search on YouTube and find it, there was one guy that actually helped people with schematics on what they could do in their houses. It's probably still on Facebook or YouTube, sorry. So it would tell you where to put the fans, where you would ventilate your home the best way. There's also that notion that you need to open windows at any time of the day to ventilate. That's not true. At some point in time during the day, if you open the window, the hot air will come in. So you need to plan the time that you open your windows so that the hot air can go out and the cool air comes in. And of course you need to open a window on the front of the house and another on the back of the house, and that will create sort of a backdraft. And that way will also help cool down your home. All of this is no nonsense. It's out there. You don't need me to tell you this. You're not coming to a live stream on aircraft, about airplanes to learn this. I'm just saying because a lot of people are just suffering it unnecessarily. So we're still above the desired airspeed. Let me try to cut down power ever so slightly. See, I just got a little bit of power. Look at the levers. I'm barely moving them, and it immediately cuts down a lot of thrust, and immediately comes down. See, starts reducing thrust, so I can't really do much. And VNAV is still worked out. I wonder if this altitude is not the one that's... Is it? 18,000 feet? Because it is the one that we were given by ATC.
Alpha, contact Marseille Control 134.26. Contact Marseille Control 134.26, Volunteer 3 Uniform Alpha.
I would need to look into the original flight plan, but this doesn't give us that, so let's go here. So let's see, view. Oh, we're turning around. That was scary.
723, flight level 350.
Tuna 723, Marseille Control, identified. Transfolio 8858, contact Marseille Control 134.26.
Sorry
Center
about
on
that.
134.26, Transfolio
It's back.
8858.
Where's our cruise here? $180. That's correct.
Daniel 117 Heavy, flight level 390.
Kenya 117 Heavy, Marseille Control, identified. Swiss 465 Yankee, contact Marseille Control.
So that's the star approach
Center on 134.
after a freak. So let's go back to
Normal speed.
Normal speed set. So we are getting closer. Not only sold out Drexy, but I've seen videos of people actually fighting on Lidl. Was it Lidl or Aldi? I saw a video of people actually fighting to get their hands on air conditioning. People are crazy, man. This world is gone. It's completely gone. There's no hope for this world. People try to be optimistic, but no. No way, man. The way things are going, no way. Call me pessimist, but let's speak of positive things. So, next plane I'm aiming to purchase as soon as it's out, it's the Airbus A220. It's a plane I've always wanted to fly. So, Synaptics joining forces with Inibuilds, so that gives me a little hope. And they're developing the A220 for such a long time that I laughed when people said, oh, they're planning 2026. I laughed because the plane's been developed for way too long, and the developer Synaptics, they were very quiet throughout the process, and I always thought it was a joke. It was like one of those inside jokes saying, yeah, people are crazy, Drexy. So it was like one of those private jokes when people were saying the Synaptics would release this year, but apparently they are releasing it this summer. So if I was to guess, I would say mid-July, so in the middle of this month, probably around 15, maybe 20, July 20. We'll see. I know they're very close to release because they're already making waves about it. Maybe they got already a good release candidate and they're just testing, ironing the bugs out. This is me hoping, but I don't know. We need to wait and see.
Fueling 5 Kilo Bravo, Marseille Control, identified. Continue
So
climb
this
to
is
flight
bug.
level 370.
Continue climb to flight level 370, viewing 5 Kilo Bravo.
So what you saw there were
Top
airports
65
being
Whiskey
depicted.
Tango, descend via star to 7,000 feet, QNH 1016.
Was that us?
Descend via start to
No.
7,000 feet, QNH1016, top Swiss 35.
I was saying this is a little bug when the airports are showing up. I never selected that.
Contact Border Control 124.83.
Contact Border Control 124.83, Alpine 47 Papa Tango. Marseille Control Swiss 465 Yankee, flight level 380.
Swiss 465 Yankee, Marseille Control identified.
Oh, there it is.
Swiss 465
Obstruction
Yankee,
and runway
clear
data
pursuit to Golf arrival.
to 01 August 26.
Pursuit to Golf arrival,
I see,
runway
that's a
14,
bug.
Swiss 465 Yankee.
Oh, it was selected airport. I don't want that. So when you select airport, it filters out the airports that you won't be able to reach, but there's a little bug here. So these are the airports that we can reach and the nav aids. So if I remove these and just leave the airport, it will start populating with weird airports. I believe those are probably helipads and smaller airfields that this plane cannot land on. I mean, this is a stall aircraft. It can land pretty much anywhere as long as there's enough runway. Yes, Air Baltic, and I'm looking forward to all those special liveries from Air Baltic. I'm also looking forward to fly ITA Airways, Air France, what's it called, the Hungarian company, Malev? I don't think it's called Malev anymore. And yeah, mostly European airlines. Really look. I learned the other day that Iraqi Airways actually purchased A220s, which is crazy. You would think they would buy Boeing or something, but no, they went for the A220. That's really cool. And they purchased a lot of planes. The A220 is supposed to be the best regional airliner out there for various reasons, but unfortunately it had a lot of engine problems, and Embraer is just that strong. Embraer is another aircraft I would love to have in flight sim. Okay. Alright, we are clear for the approach that we were aiming at. Africa in November, runway 32 left, accept.
Cleared Africa 8 November arrival, runway 32 left, Corsica 726.
So now we're just waiting to see if it's the ILS Zulu. Oh, another company is Swiss. Swiss says the A220 as well. So Air Baltic, Swiss, Air France, ITA Airways, those are the companies I want to fly with the A220. So here's hoping they release that pretty soon. One can dream, right? I'm coming back to the ILS page because you're going to need to switch out of FMS to ILS. So switch this little switch here so we can perform the ILS approach, and hopefully it will go better than last flight in the Falcon 50, where our VNAV just couldn't capture the glide slope path, and so it went up and down. It was really crazy, the approach yesterday. Really crazy. I was a little upset because I flew so many ILSs preparing for the flight yesterday that I thought I had it, but I didn't. I didn't fly that particular ILS approach, granted, but still. So we've been flying for 1 hour and 19 minutes. Actual flight time out of the gate, so minus the prep phase. It's been a very quick flight anyways.
Contact Border Control 123.63, Valotia 9 Victor Quebec.
Alright, let's call ready for descent.
Corsica 726 ready for descent.
Corsica 726 descend to flight level 080.
Right.
Descend to flight level 080, Corsica 726.
Corsica 726 descend via start to flight level 080.
Descend via start to flight level 080, Corsica 726.
Let's call the passengers back to their seats.
Heavy, contact Marseille Control 134.26.
Contact Control 134.26. Daniel
Yes.
117 Heavy, good day.
Let's get 1,000 feet. There it is. It's going to accelerate to 220 knots as it should.
Tuner 723, contact Marseille Control 134.26.
Center on 134.26 to the 723, bye-bye.
Let's get back to climb mode. There is no descent mode. Right, descent checklist. ATs has been, well, need to check ATs. Com set, landing elevation check.
8
So,
advice to 890 low, Marseille Control
probably not
identified.
here. Decision height, let's take a look at the chart. What's going to set the MDA? So it's 940. No, 750. So let's set that for the MDA.
Marseille Control, France Solar 15 Papa Papa, passing flight level 220, descending to 3,000 feet.
750 set.
Papa, Marseille Control identified.
So let's go MCDU approach page, perform, nav set, performance data checked, arrival briefing completed. You want to hear the briefing? No. Set TCAS to below. Done. And descent checklist complete. We're making a right-hand turn.
Marseille Control, Beeline 29 Delta, passing flight level 134, descending to flight level 080.
Well, we're making a left-hand turn now, then we'll make a right-hand
Marseille
turn.
Control identified.
Marseille Control switch.
Have you seen the Air Baltic special liveries on the A220 direct sea? Some of them are very stunning. There's one for the Lithuanian flag with red and white. Oh my, that's very, very pretty. I really like it. So this is our Freak 109.3. It's been changed. So let's change it again. 109.3. Alright, so now we're ready to trigger that in.
France Solar 8705, contact Lyon information approach 135.53.
Contact Lyon information approach 135.53, France Solar 8705.
As we turn right into the green portion, this is the star approach, we'll go to heading mode. Yeah, Drexy, I'm really looking forward to that. I hope they paint it. I'm really bad at painting for MFS 2024. I painted it for a lot of airplanes during my experience with flight simulation. Ever since FSX, P3D, even X-Plane, I did a couple of paints for X-Plane. DCS World, a lot of different simulators, but ever since MFS 2020 and now MFS 2024, I just can't paint. It's just too complex. There's so many steps to it. It's weird. Let's see if VNAV can do a better job now. So it's on path mode. It's pretty much keeping my preset. It's just not obeying to VNAV. It's saying VNAV path, but look at that, it's set to 0 and there's a 0 bug here, but it's still descending at 1,000 feet negative, 1,000 feet per minute. It's just ignoring VNAV.
Contact Bordeaux Control
Let's go to Bordeaux.
125.105.
Center on 125.105, Corsica 726. Bordeaux Control, Corsica 726, passing flight level 133, descending to flight level 080.
Corsica 726 border control identified.
Let's cut power a little bit. Making our turn right, and just like the Falcon and many other planes we flew recently, the transition between the RNAV approach and the ILS approach is a bit dodgy. Oh, I forgot to perform this descent checklist. Hello. So FWS recall. Where's the recall button? There it is. Checked. No messages. Landing elevation. Takeoff data here. FMS nav performance performed. Decision height MD8 performed. Arrival procedure complete. Now we're just going to need the approach checklist. So we're now flying direct to a demo. .09.3 still tuned in. It's good. On the standby, I mean. Let's look outside for a moment. Passing 10,000 feet, we're going to turn on the runway lights, not the runway lights, the landing lights. These are the wing lights illuminating the plane. It's being headed over to Toulouse. These projection lights are too low.
080 with information, Oscar.
ILS to approach runway 32 left with the Adima transition.
QNH1015 expect the ILS to approach runway 32 left with the Adima transition, Corsica 76.
So these lights are supposed to be pointing forward, but they are pointing down. They should be pointing this direction, not down. Just another little thing.
Corsica 726.
Reaching 8,000. So we are going through a demo at 8,000 feet, and that's exactly where we want to be. And then the constraints are written there. We need to continue descent to 3,000 feet. Altitude capture. So, two things we need to do. First, we need to change to ILS mode. So, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to heading mode. Done. So now the plane will fly towards the heading that we had preset. And as I do that, I'll switch now to ILS mode. So this point here, and we'll get the rows here. We tune in to 109.3. That will give us ILS 1, and now we set the course 321 degrees. So let's set that course here. 321 degrees right there. Oh, hold on. It overshot. So VNav is still not working. It completely overshot my preset altitude. We were supposed to be at 8,000 feet. ATC will not be bothering us for that. Now for safe measure, I'm going to set ILS 2 for the same freak. So 109.3. We turned off the auto. So this way our co-pilot can also follow ILS. We're all set. Plane is now reducing speed. So there it is. We got ILS intercept. Well, tuned in. Let's go to performance, landing data. So our VAP is 113, just like our VR, which is crazy, but okay. It's automatically calculated. It will change regarding.
Toulouse approach, VLAN 29 Delta, passing flight level 137, descending to flight level 080 with information Oscar.
VLAN 29 Delta, Toulouse approach, QNH 1015, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left with the fuzz up transition.
QNH 1015, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left with the fuzz up transition. VLAN 29 Delta.
We don't want to decel too much
clear direct fuzz up, cross fuzz up at or above flight level
because we might be overtaken by the other aircraft and we don't want to go around.
Direct fuzz up, cross fuzz up at or above flight level 080. Cleared ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left, beeline 29 Delta.
I believe that's the airport right there. I'm seeing more and more lights pop up in this last version of MFS. It didn't happen as frequently as it is now. Let's
KLM 37 Hotel Toulouse approach, QNH 1015, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left with the fuzz up transition. QNH 1015, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left with the fuzz up transition. KLM 37 Hotel. KLM 37 Hotel, clear direct fuzz up, cross fuzz up at or above flight level 080, cleared ILS Zulu.
Let's continue our descent to 3,000 feet.
Clear direct fuzz up, cross fuzz up at or above flight level 080, cleared ILS Zulu approach, runway 32 left, KLM 37 Hotel.
There's our glide slope. Let's start our descent. I'm not gonna trust VNAV. Not anymore. $700 per minute is good enough. I'm gonna set our power management to takeoff thrust for our go around profile. We're flying a little sideways from our aiming point here, but it's alright. As long as we fly within this line. Don't do this at home though. Always follow the line. But you know me, I like to live dangerously. Oh, that's the airport. This is not the airport. That's the airport right there. Let's descend a little faster now. So we want to get at 3,000 feet here. This is where our interception point is, that blue arrow there. Let's go idle. Let's get 1 point of flaps here. On the limit there for overspeed. So flaps 15 set. And approach mode. Let's turn in. There's the airport right there. We're gonna land on the left runway. Flaps 30. And let's get our gear down. Flaps full. I know. Localizer intercepted. Glide slope was already intercepted for some reason. It intercepted glide slope first. That's not supposed to happen. We got some slight wind coming from the right, 12 knots at 342. Approach checklist. Seatbelt signs are on. Landing lights are on. Altimeters. Oh, go to set local.
Contact Blackneck Tower 118.1, good day.
QNH
Contact Tower
1012.
118.1, Corsica 726, good day. Blackneck Tower,
Set and
Corsica
cross-check.
726, ILS Zulu approach runway 32 left.
Corsica 726, Blackneck Tower, wind 320 degrees, 7 knots, runway 32 left, clear to
Oh,
land.
Betsy, I
Runway
don't think I
32
can
left,
set
cleared to
your
land, Corsica
altimeter.
726.
Air France 377 Victor Heavy, holding short, runway 32 left.
Yep.
Air France 377
Stay
Victor Heavy,
standard there
Blackneck
for some
Tower,
reason.
wind 320 degrees, 7 knots, Runway 32 left, cleared for takeoff traffic 7 mile final, no delay. Runway 32 left, cleared for takeoff, no delay.
See the
Air
popping
France
up of the
377
lights?
Victor Heavy.
This never happened before. There's something weird with the scenery now concerning the runway lights. Well, the ground lights, not runway lights. Ground lights. Alright, let's get our track IR working again. Now let's line it up. There we go. What's going on? What is going on, track IR? Alright. Autopilot off. We are cleared. Are we cleared to land? Cleared to land, yes. Confirmed. That's why we have two pilots on board. One can pay attention to those details while the other flies. Follow the flight director.
Air France 377 Victor Heavy, contact Toulouse departure 123.85. Contact Toulouse departure 123.85, Air France 377 Victor Heavy. Alpine 351 Hotel, holding short runway 32 right. Alpine 351 Hotel, Bagnac Tower, wind 320 degrees, 7 knots, runway 32 right, cleared for takeoff. Runway 32 right, cleared for takeoff.
We're gonna have a plane taking off on the right runway. It's always cool to see.
Approaching 3, 2 left.
Confirmed. So on the tip right there of the runway 32 right is the Airbus factory. The terminal is right here on the left side. 500 check.
Approaching minimum.
Confirmed.
Minimum.
Continue.
Minimum.
Oops. Check.
Alpine 351 Hotel.
Reverse.
Contact Toulouse departure 123.85. Contact Toulouse departure 123.85. Alpine 351 Hotel.
That was a too powerful reverse. Laps up. Hello. Oh, speed brakes were on. My bad.
Corsica 726. Exit right at Mike 8.
Exit right at Mike 8, Corsica 726.
Right at Mike 8. So, here it is. Oh, the Airbus factory is this side, sorry. There's on the Belugas. So the terminal is on that side. I was reading it wrong. My bad. There are two terminals actually on each side. But we need to exit to the right. There's the exit up ahead. There's Vietnam Airlines Airbus. Looks like a 350. There will be a lot of strange Cathay Pacific. There will be a lot of strange airlines at Toulouse at all times because you know, it's the factory. It's the assembly line for the big long haulers like the 350, 330 Neo. The smaller A320s, A321 Neos are assembled at Hamburg. Here's our exit here. This is Mike, so not the one assigned, but still good enough. Let's follow the yellow line. Let's turn here on Mike. Runway exit procedures.
726, contact ground 121.9, good day.
Ground 121.9, Corsica 726, good day.
Alright, let's get our...
Approaching 14 left.
Oh yeah, that's another runway here, so we need to hold here.
Swift 5614, taxi for departure.
Swift 5614, taxi to holding point November 1, runway 32 right, via Tango 20, Papa 10, Tango 10 November.
Taxi to holding point November 1, runway 32 right, via Tango 20, Papa 10, Tango 10 November, Swift 5614.
Corsica 726, request taxi to company ramp.
Corsica 726, gate uniform 12, taxi at pilot's discretion.
Gate uniform 12, taxi at my discretion, Corsica 726.
That's not good. Where is gate uniform 12? So this is, so we landed on 32 left. And so we turn right at Mike 8.
Contact Black Neck Tower 118.1.
And now we need to go to uniform.
118.1, Swift 5614.
Alright, let's pick my trusty. It doesn't even give me a taxi lane to follow. So let's just do it. Let's go on. I think it didn't want me to go through here, I suppose. Trying to pick a place to park. So I'm picking A12, not the one ATC gave me, but taxi at pilot's discretion, that's never a good thing, right? So A12 is somewhere in that area over there. By the way, I didn't turn on the takeoff lights during descent because of this. The glare is just too much. But we need that light now. why this thing is so small now. So now it's V10. So we need to turn right and then left. I think this is not right, but not here on the other right. I think this is a very big gate for this aircraft, but still.
All aircraft, the advised information, Papa, now current QNH1015.
Whoa. 1015. Turn here. Royal Air Maroc, Ryanair, Transavia, Ryanair. So we're going for a V10. Hopefully it's not a jetway gate. Yeah, so it's the second to last turn. 1, 2, 3 is the third turn from this. 1, 2, 3. This one. Oh, there's a plane there. God damn it. There it goes. I didn't complete the approach procedure there on the checklist. Slow down. Taxi lights off. There we go. Parking brake set. Let's turn on the dome light and shut down the engines. External power is on, so we can now cut off. There you go.
Beeline 29 Delta, taxi via Mike 8, hold short of runway 32
The
right.
boarding requested.
Taxi via Mike 8, hold short of runway 32 right, Beeline 29 Delta.
Start turning off.
Beeline 29 Delta, via Mike 8, cross runway 32 right, taxi to stand Echo 60 via November 8, Papa Tango.
Via Mike 8, cross runway 32 right, taxi to stand Echo 60 via November 8, Papa Tango, Beeline 29 Delta.
Passengers
All right,
boarding started.
welcome to Toulouse. We have arrived safely, although the approach was very uneventful. The plane is a little quirky. VNAV was all over the place. It still needs some work fixing that. But overall, it was a very cool flight. Oh my, what's going on here? I'm scared. Where is she going? Oh, bye, lady. Passengers are deboarding correctly, though. The look at the cabin is all dark. Shouldn't be this dark. Let me take a look here. Oh, that's because power is off. Why is power off? Why is this disconnected? Come on. Betsy, was it you sabotaging this pleasant flight? Let's turn off the wing lights as well. Alright, looks good now. So guys, again, a very uneventful flight. It was a very, well, I love Corsica. I really like Ajaccio. Toulouse, well, it's a major airport with all the Airbus factory and all that. So getting ready for the next flight now. We're going to take some time. Probably not tomorrow. I'll try my best to do it tomorrow, but I'm very busy these days, so I may not be able to. In any case, I will be performing flights in the next few days. Probably next week I'll be making a lot more flights because I'm a bit more available. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If we don't see each other tomorrow, we'll see you next week. And remember, this is the Glide Slope channel. It's well, I'm really appreciative of everybody that keeps liking and those that have subscribed my channel. I hope to see you next time. If you like what you saw, remember, leave that like. There's also a buy me a coffee link in the description if you're feeling generous. And I see you guys next time. And remember, as I always try to make you remember, doesn't matter how bad your life is, the sun is always shining up there somewhere, even at night. It's not shining here, but you know it's somewhere out there. See you next time, guys. Bye bye. Oh, by the way, goodbye Mirsha, goodbye Andrew. I saw you there. You were just coming on the final moment. Trexie, always pleasant to have you here. See you all next time. Bye bye.
I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails
KLM
so
37
bright
Hotel
and fine.
via Mike 8 cross runway 32 right, taxi to stand Echo 62 via November 8 Papa Tango.
Via Mike cross runway 32 right, taxi to stand Echo 62 via November 8 Papa Tango, KLM 37 Hotel.
Guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the